Hey, so today we are testing out on the same track with the same Mercedes car, which is better, the steering wheel or the controller. Now I will say that right now, right off the bat, I have only ever raced in Gran Turismo Sport with the steering wheel. However, before I got the steering wheel a couple of years ago, all I used to race with was the controller. So I do have a good amount of experience with the controller, and I did do a couple of test laps with the controller anyways. So, without any further ado, which is faster? So right now, we are currently sitting in, I rear-ended that guy, 9th place, 7 seconds away from the leader, and as you can see, right now the setting that I've got it on is that I am using the actual shifter and not the shifting paddles, and I'm using the Logitech G29 steering wheel. Now that's a great steering wheel for anyone who's looking to get a beginner steering wheel, or even an advanced person who doesn't want to spend a lot of money. This steering wheel is absolutely amazing, and you can grab it down in the description as well. Now, with the Logitech G29, it's a force feedback steering wheel, which means that you should be making, it should feel quite like a real steering wheel, and I personally say that it does. So what we're going to be doing in this video is not just seeing what position I can finish with, but also what lap time is the best. So that was 144.986, and I bet the second lap's going to be a bit better. Now, the Mercedes is one of the better cars in the game, at least sound-wise, in my opinion. Your opinion might be a bit different. And you can tell that I really haven't raced all that much with this specific car. The reason why is I've got 2 of these cars in this game. The other one I use a little bit more, and of course in this race I thought I would take the second one that I've got and just race that because it's totally bone stock. And got off the track there into the gravel. I hate it when that happens. I did not take that corner the right way. Hit a couple of guys coming back on the course. My bad, guys. Now coming around this, I love this chicane. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I used to hate that so much in Gran Turismo 3 back in the day, but I love going around it now. It's so much fun. But let's see if we can beat my first lap. So it was 144.98. Let's see what we can do on this lap. Looks like we should be able to beat it a good amount. 133, I'm going to say 133.1. Let's see what we can do with the controller. Now I actually have the camera on the controller as well, and now we can see which is actually better. Now my issue with the controller is I now know why, and I have empathy and sympathy for people who race online with a controller. I no longer dislike those people who you can see that they're driving with a controller because their car is so shifty. I now know why, and that's because as soon as you let go of that stick, it snaps back to straight, and that is an absolute pain in the neck. As you can see here, I just cannot control this car going around corners. Now, that's my biggest thing with running with the controller. Also, running with the controller, if you want to run manual X, at least this is PlayStation, with going up a gear, it's the X button, and going down a gear is the square button. And of course, you can go into the settings and have that changed, but I personally am not a huge fan of the controller. If you can afford to get a steering wheel of really any kind, that's what I would recommend. I also seem to feel that the braking of the car going around corners and that seems a bit different with the controller than it does with the steering wheel. Obviously you're using your foot and not your hand, but it seems like if you have the button all the way down to like nothing left to push versus flooring out the brake, it seems like you lock up the wheels a bit more with the controller. Maybe just because there's not enough play area, but that's just what I'm thinking. But I'm going to say right now that it's not the easiest thing to race with. And if you have the option to get a steering wheel, I definitely would. Logitech G29s are not exactly a ton of money. They're pretty cheap when it comes to steering wheels, and I've heard through comments that some of the Thrustmasters in the United States are actually cheaper than the Logitech. Now, some people don't like the Thrustmasters. I've used the Thrustmaster, not on this channel, just as like trying it out at the store. I used to work at a store that sold this stuff, and one of the demo people came in with it, and I tried it out, and it was good. I liked it, and I personally, maybe just because I'm used to using the Logitech, I just prefer the Logitech. But some of the higher end Thrustmasters, I can almost guarantee you will be better than the Logitech. It all comes down to how they make the wheel. But the feel of the wheel, it feels high quality. I've had the Logitech G29 for a couple of years, and it seems to not have broken yet, and seems to be still working. Funny enough, the actual leathery stuff on the shifter hasn't separated from the plastic base, while in my Mustang the leather part has separated from the plastic base, but not on the shifter, but on the e-brake. So anyways, 134. So yeah, you can get around the track pretty close to the same time as with the steering wheel if you really work your butt off. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.